Hold on tight, because this isn't a drill. This is the height of reality TV chaos. I can tell you that Yandy is not doing well, especially after Jasmine Bleu recently shared some shocking information regarding Mendeecees. Recently, the unflinching, daring queen discovered that her faithful companion, MS. The receipts are a whole mess. We all know that the love and hip-hop world is in flames, and the internet is going crazy, and Harris has been skulking around with Jasmine Bleu. Yandy is crying more than ever, and Jasmine isn't just talking. She's sharing facts, information, and feelings. Fans were completely taken aback. But what exactly did Jasmine disclose? How did Yandy react? And, above all, will Ems even be able to come back from this strap-in? There will be some weird twists and turns in this scandal. This isn't just another hip-hop love triangle, you see. It's more destructive, messy, and larger than anything we've ever seen. Since he was caught red-handed, that's why I'm saying that Mess got caught again. Of course, if you've been following the drama, you're aware that Jasmine and Mendeecees' past has always been turbulent, full of rumors, accusations, and scandal. But this time, it's not just. Since Jasmine Bleu just told everything, and when Yandy found out, let's just say it was game over. Whispers is no more. This is the kind of drama that really opens reality TV, so let's analyze it. Started the moment Jasmine went live. People go live a lot these days to interact with their followers, drop hints, and even start a fight. But this time, Jasmine wasn't mocking her fans. Instead, she delivered information, receipts, and she told a story at the start of her live stream that caught everyone off guard. You guys are going to hate me for this, but I don't even care anymore. I'm done staying quiet, she remarked. Then, all of a sudden, we came to an amazing realization. She took a big breath as she was about to pass out, looked straight into the camera and said, Mendeecees has been lying to all of us. The comments were furious, with some people shouting, Girl, what spill it? Before she collapsed, she said, It's not another dirty mess. Mendeecees was secretly contacting Jasmine for days, telling her that if he could go back in time, he would have chosen her, claiming that he felt trapped and unhappy with Yandy. Jasmine even claims that the bomb has been lurking behind Yandy's back once more. But this isn't just a failed VMS or a little side flirtation. Yes, everyone, it is the reason his wife lost her mind. When did Yandy learn that hell had broken loose, and what did he say? Fans tagged Yandy everywhere in hopes of hearing back, but she first remained silent. Yandy isn't the type to keep quiet for more than a few hours, as you are well aware. She looked as if she had just finished the most trying battle of her life when she finally got back on the internet. Her first words were, It was just the beginning, according to those close to Yandy, and her eyes were swollen and her eyeliner was smudged. That was all we needed to hear because it wasn't just idle rumors. Right now, I can't think of anything to say. Mendeecees was drawn into a room for a face-to-face meeting as soon as she found out. And believe me when I say that what happened next was straight out of a movie. Imagine her clutching a phone while trembling. Yandy uses her tremendous energy to throw the phone onto the table, then enters the room and shuts the door. He looks down and realizes his whole demeanor has altered. What is the matter? Are you really going to trust her over me, baby? Was his first statement. Oh no, he didn't. Go ahead and tell me that she isn't the right person to play with. But that's gaslighting 101. I'm not an idiot. Mendeecees starts to move in his chair and scan his surroundings as though he's looking for a way out. But guess what? There is no way out for me. Suddenly, Yandy pulls out another phone. As everyone knows, a man's voicemail plays on a woman's two phones, and guess what? Clearly, it's M's voice. I miss you, Jasmine, he says. The room is quiet, and M's expression is filled with panic as he reaches for the phone, but Yandy grabs his hand before he can reach it. I think about you all the time. I just want to make things right. Mendeecees was aware that it was over at that moment, but he is now attempting to turn the tables on Yandy by saying, Oh, you want the phone now, but you weren't expecting to get caught leaving these messages. You ignore me and always assume the worst about all I've done for this family. You made a big mistake, friend. Yandy is worn out. You want to talk about devotion now that you're thinking about your family, but you're out there telling another woman that you wish you had chosen her, and she just sits there in silence because she has nothing else to say. Since this was more than just cheating, Yandy eventually lost it. He simply sat there, humiliated and defeated in silence, listening to the resulting sadness when a woman no longer feels angry at all. It was about years of loyalty that felt pointless all of a sudden, about betrayal. Because of what's going to happen next, my love, you'll know then that it's really finished and that this is just the beginning. Things will become disorganized. Yandy left the studio with her heart pounding, trying to understand what she had done. She had given up everything for me, stood by him at his darkest moments, and stuck by him when everything seemed to be against him. But now it was all for nothing. She had just listened to the betrayal, the lies, and the disgrace, to let the tears to fall, but they obscured her vision as she drove home. Though she wasn't yet prepared to cry, her mind was racing with questions like, had she been blind the entire time? Had she ignored the warnings? Was he the center of attention? And then her phone. I have no idea that I challenged him, and he was unable to refute it, so he simply sat there in silence. Yandy paused to catch his breath before answering the girl's question. What the hell is going on? Sharp, urgent was Kimbella's voice as she said, what the hell is going on? Yandy listens to her and sighs deeply. I'd always ride for you, as you are aware, but this is awful. Yandy's stomach dropped female audio memos, pictures, and photos, and Jasmine is out there throwing away receipts like they were on Black Friday. Jasmine barely managed to reply, yeah, and listen, these aren't old girls. They look fresh new. It was as if the oxygen had been forced out of her lungs because she had proof that I needed to see them. Emailed the images with shaking hands, and Yandy couldn't help but open them to see a photograph of the two of them sipping wine at a beautiful restaurant and another of Jasmine sleeping on Mendeecees on a hotel bed without a shirt. Even though Mendeecees was smiling, her voice trembled as she said, I can't do this, Camilla. I can't defend him anymore with steady conviction. Camilla added, you don't have to Yandy this man. This was the hardest part of every photo. She realized that this was more than just a case of a woman being betrayed after she had cheated on you too many times. Yandy Smith was a woman other women looked up to, a role model they respected, and a lady who built a reputation, a brand, and a history for herself. Now that everyone was looking, Mendeecees was dragging it all through the mud. Mendeecees was in a panic, his phone exploding with his name trending, while she wiped away her tears and said, he won't make me look foolish today. For all the wrong reasons, he needed to fix this right away, so he called Jasmine. He yelled at her as she answered the phone, you need to clean up this mess you made. She laughed and replied, oh, now you want to act crazy. But you're the one who kept coming back to me, Mendeecees. You made this 100 times worse. Jasmine smirked. Worse for who? Because I'm doing this, he remarked. I just told the truth that wasn't meant for the public, and he made those promises. I have additional receipts, and he knew she wasn't, so just so you know, I haven't even dropped anything yet. M's jaw tightened just nicely. I swear, or what if you don't fix this? He was interrupted by Jasmine. How will you respond? I am not your property. Yandy was pacing while Jasmine was at home thinking about blood. She took up her phone and went live on Instagram, reaching thousands of followers, because she knew she couldn't wait for Mendeecees to make up a story. Yandy, sis, we've got your back. He's not worth it, so leave him. Are you all right? You are in my prayers. Yandy inhaled deeply before continuing. At first, I wasn't even going to speak, but she did when she saw what was happening, and she refused to let anyone make her look foolish. I've always stood by my man no matter what, but today I saw something that broke my heart. I know it hurts, but I'm strong and will get through this. Support. Her email was inundated with phone messages begging her to defend herself, but suddenly the narrative shifted. I could feel his grip weakening and saw his fists clenched on his phone, but Yandy was more than just the woman who had been duped anymore. She was reclaiming her authority. When he saw Yandy's name on her screen, he knew he had to call her right away. Before she could, would she call it all? Jasmine sat serious looking in front of the camera on the video, and just as she was about to decide, the internet went down. Jasmine sent a video, another bombshell, then another notification. As she inhaled deeply, the tension grew. She said, "I didn't want to say this, but because everyone was chatting, I'll tell you the whole truth." What else would she divulge? After taking a deep breath, she said that Yandy had no idea what was going to happen, shocking the world's followers of the Stood Still. "Yandy told me he was already moving his finances to start afresh and that he had planned everything." When Jasmine dropped more receipts during Yandy's run, Yandy realized that this was more than just cheating. It was something else entirely. Given how overwhelming the comments were, I am certain that Mendeecees had this plan from the start. Degree of betrayal, she was forced to choose between fighting for this love and ending it once and for all. Everyone was waiting for her to switch off her phone, so she gave it one last glance before doing so. Yandy's heart pounded as she scrolled through the texts and saw everything after learning the shocking truth about me and Jasmine Bleu. As she contemplated her next move, including Mendeecees, the room was tight. It was getting close to the final betrayal. Each and every message confirmed her deepest fears that Mendeecees had been lying to her and that this was a serious matter rather than a casual one. Social media was fire at the same time, with some who were my admirers divided and others calling me a chronic liar. Never changed other people's impressions that the story wasn't finished. Hashtags like #Justice for Yandy and #Mendeecees Explorers started to spread as the internet gained prominence, and Jasmine Bleu was savoring the attention during this time. She fueled the debate when the internet was initially used by making mysterious Instagram postings that said that Mendeecees had been seeking her instead of the other way around. As everyone analyzed every word in Jasmine Bleu's message, Yandy was no longer crying. She was angry. She remarked, "When a man shows you who he is, believe him." This was about years of sacrifice and dedication on my part, not about a single lady. And now that she had been there for him during his darkest hours and stayed faithful while he was in prison, it all felt like a cruel joke. Yandy grabbed up her phone and dialed one of her best friends because Jasmine was out here acting like she was the victim enough. "I have to correct the record," friend said, and a sit-down interview was set up. Yandy was ready to be candid from the moment the interview aired and wouldn't let Jasmine or Mendeecees control the topic. Revealed that Yandy didn't hold back and admitted that she had seen the warning signs months earlier, but she had chosen to believe M. In hindsight, all of the explanations and the continuous busy schedule made sense until Yandy struck the final blow. The world watched in shock when the texts, screen images, and receipts showed unequivocal, black and white proof that Mendeecees had been holding secret meetings with Jasmine Bleu while pretending to be a faithful wife. Eno's getaway for Mendeecees was now. But hold on, there's more. When it was discovered that Mendeecees had informed Jasmine that he was done with Yandy and ready to go, the internet went crazy. After being a cheater, Yandy deserves so much more. "You're just next on the list," Sis and Shady Jasmine really think she earned something. Mendeecees, however, was very composed, which exacerbated the situation. Was he trying to exert control over things? But when Mendeecees finally made a post on Instagram after a few days of inactivity, the damage was already done. He didn't fully understand the situation, so instead of accepting responsibility, he played the victim by claiming that he and Yandy had been apart for months, which Jasmine could understand. Then he had the audacity to suggest that Yandy was just saying, "I don't need compassion. I need the truth, and if you can't offer it to me, we have nothing more to talk about." He looked exhausted, and the weight of the scandal was visible on his face as he said, "I'm not perfect. I made mistakes, but y'all." The last straw was when Yandy made this public for attention and then took to her own platform. To make matters worse, Jasmine Bleu had the audacity to publish the purported final receipts, additional pictures, and texts from Mendeecees telling her that he was ready to move on and that he was done with Yandy. The public erupted, and those who supported the marriage were certain that it was. His popularity was declining to the point where even his own people started denouncing him in his backlash-filled remarks, and his following were sick of guys pressing him to step down in public. Jasmine played you, Vero. You caused this to yourself. And would Yandy eventually depart permanently now that everything was in ruins and the fallout was just beginning? Would Mendeecees make an effort to regain her? Time would tell, but one thing was certain. This story was far from over. What about Jasmine Bleu now that everyone was? That's the end of this strange story for now, but will there be more drama, or will Yandy finally break up with me? The most crucial question is whether Jasmine Bleu is performing or stating the truth, even though we see a shocking reconciliation. If you think that Mendeecees was always this way, or if there is more to the story, please leave a comment. The drama in love and hip-hop never stops, so if you thought this was crazy, believe me. Click the subscribe button if you want to be updated on the most shocking revelations, the biggest disputes, and the real behind the scenes. If you think Yandy should finally take a chance on herself, click the like button and turn on notifications right away to make sure you don't miss any updates.